Hi guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new here or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm Emmy from the Crazy Bookish Asians, and today for this video I thought I'd talk about 10 hard books I would like to read before I die, knock on wood. And this video is basically inspired by a video that a YouTuber called Bookish did, and in that video it's really great. By the way, I'm gonna link it down below. He talks about 10 hard books that he's read. I think that the title of his video is 10 hard books you don't have to read unless you want to. So that's where he talks about the classics that he's read. And for this one, I thought for my own version I talk about the 10 hard books that I want to read before I die. So basically it's actually 10 books plus a series. So yeah, so okay, I don't like long intros, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna talk about first an honorable mention because I don't have the physical book with me, and I'll put here, it's Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. I tried to read this book, I think about maybe 10 years ago. And I think I read about 10 pages of it. I borrowed it from the library. That's why I don't have my own copy, but I'll eventually buy it. So yeah, I read about 20 pages. And at that time in my life, I just wasn't in the right headspace to read a book like that. So I haven't really tried to read it since. But I do want to read it eventually. So that's an honorable mention. And so now I'm going to talk about the actual 10 books that I want to read, but first the series. So this one, oh sorry, before I go on, I just want to say in terms of hard, I always put in quotations because hard and easy, you know, that's such a subjective thing, like, you know, depending on the person. Like these books I'm sure are probably easy for a lot of people, but for me I consider them hard, mainly because the thickness of the book, I find it daunting, or because they're translated classics. And with translations, sometimes I find it's a hit or miss. So it could be an easy read or a hard read depending on the translation that you get. But these are classics as well, so I consider them hard. So yeah, that's why I keep saying hard in quotation, because yeah, like I said, it's very subjective, right? So first I'm gonna start off with a series, and that is the Dark Tower series by Mr. Stephen King. So I have the first book here, and then books 4 to 7. All right, and this is the last one, so I didn't even do it in order. This is the last one, the Dark Tower, Song of Susanna. Okay, and then the Wolves of the Kala, which is the 5th book. So basically I don't have books 2 and 3, and the last one in the series that Stephen King wrote, which is The Wind Through the Keyhole. And basically that one you read between 4 and 5. So yeah, so I really want to read the series because my husband and I were both big Stephen King fans, but I haven't read the series, and my husband had read it. I don't know where he put the first 3 books. So anyways, after reading the series, he was so angry. He stopped reading Stephen King after. So I'm really curious why he hated the series so much. So that's why I'm basically reading it. So just to see. And I know Stephen King considers this his magnum opus. So yeah, and the reason I'm putting it in this video is because well, there's like 8 books in it, so that will take me a while, and it's a bit daunting when I think about it, because there's other series that I want to read as well, right? So but I have read like the related books in the series, like The Stand, I've read all those, and I've also read The Talisman and Black House, which are both related to the Dark Tower series as well. And it's a whole universe, right? So that's really one thing I'm really curious about. So basically Dark Tower, oh my god, I should have talked about the premise first. It's about Roland, who's the gunslinger, and his journey to get to the Dark Tower. And there's also the Man in Black, who's the main antagonist, I guess. And yeah, so that's the series. So now on to the actual 10 hard books that I want to read before I die. This is in no particular order except for the last two, because the last two are the ones I consider really kind of hard. So okay, let's start off with Herodotus, the Histories. And this one is basically about well, Herodotus writing about mainly the war, how it started between the Greeks and the Persians, so the Greece and Persian Empire. And basically it's a whole other, aside from that, there's like stories relating to ancient history. So I really want to read this. And right now, in terms of ancient, like classical literature, I've just read the Iliad, and I'm currently reading the Odyssey, and then I'm going to be reading the Aeneid next. Also, this one is a Robert Fagle's translation. I read the Iliad in the Robert Fagle's translation as well, which I really love. And then the Aeneid also in Robert Fagle's translation. So after, I think I'm gonna read that one first, after the Odyssey, the Aeneid, and then this one. And this one is the Robin Waterfield translation. I hope you guys can see. Oh, it's showing my face there. And it's, yeah, like it's the Oxford classic. All right, so there's that. That's number 10. Number 9 would be okay, so Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. So this one, so this copy I've had since high school, so a long time ago, and I think I've read about 80% of it, but I don't know why I stopped reading it. Anyways, so this book is about Jean Valjean, and basically how how one minor crime put him in jail, and it's basically his story until the end of his life. I hope that's not a spoiler. Anyways, I really loved the musical growing up. I literally know the whole score, I think, and yeah, so I want to get back into it. I don't know, this one I've had, like, this was gifted by my mom's friend. She gave it to me because she knew I love reading. Let me see. This is what is the translation by Isabel Hapgood. Yeah. So Victor Hugo. Yeah. Oh my God. So I think I know why I stopped reading it. I think because look. Oh my God. The text. I don't know if I should get a different copy, but oh my gosh. But anyways, I really do treasure this copy because not only is it beautiful, but I've had this for a long time. So that's number 9. All right, number 10. Oh, some of these books I would like to say I've had for a long time, some of them, and some are just recent purchases because I just had my birthday and I received some gift cards from my sister and sister-in-law, so I ended up using that. And this one is one of the newer purchases. And this is the Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This one I would say, everyone says this is an easy read, right? It's a story of revenge. But I find it daunting because look how thick it is. Oh my gosh. And yeah, let me see how many pages. More than 1,000 for sure. But anyways, yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, it's supposed to be an easy read as a classic because it's fairly well done. I mean, not that the others are not fairly well done, but just the pacing of the story. Which translation is this? I don't even know. I will write here who is a translator. But anyways, is that number 8? Yes. Famous hero. Yes, so. Alright, next one I'm gonna talk about are by the same author, and that is Fyodor Dostoevsky. So this one is Crime and Punishment. And this one is, Oh my god, this one I have had since 2001. Oh my gosh, I've read, this is another one of those books that I've read a few chapters. Did I mark it? Yeah, I've read up to page 22. So, but I don't know why I stopped, because it was, I can remember it being a good read. Oh my god, the tags. But this is a Wordsworth Classic version, so. Yeah. Anyways, it's a Constant Garnet translation. I've read her work before, so I'm going to talk about that later. So yeah, Crime and Punishment. Should I read to you guys? I don't know if I should be reading the synopsis, because I think a lot of people know what this is about already. Okay, let's see. Crime and Punishment is one of the greatest and most readable novels ever written. From the beginning, we are locked into the frenzied consciousness of Raskolnikov, who, against his better instincts, is inexorably drawn to commit a brutal double murder. From that moment on, we share his conflicting feelings of self-loathing and pride, of contempt for and need of others, and of the terrible despair and hope of redemption. And in a remarkable transformation of the detective novel, we follow his agonized efforts to probe and confront both his own motives for and the consequences of his crime. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm really excited to read this one. Next one is the Karamazov brothers, or Brothers Karamazov. And this one, oh, this one, like I said, is the Wordsworth Classics. And then this one is a Oxford World's Classic, translated by Ignat Avsi. And this one, let's read. Okay, Dostoevsky's last and greatest novel, The Karamazov Brothers, is both a brilliantly told crime and passionate philosophical debate. The dissolute landowner Karamazov is murdered. His sons, atheist intellectual Ivan, hot-blooded Dmitri, and saintly novice Alyosha are all at some level involved. Ooh, oh, sure. This sounds really good too. So I might, just because this is slightly thinner, I might read this first and then this one. But this sounds more interesting to me. So I've never read any work by Ignat Avsi, but I've heard that this is quite good. All right, so I think we are down to the, wait, is it? Wait, 1, 2, 3. So the last 5. All right, so the next 3 are by the same author, and that is Charles Dickens. Surprisingly, I've never read any of his novels, but I've read A Christmas Carol a long time ago. So this is a bit of a cheat. The first one I'm going to talk about is actually 2 books, but I got the Penguin Classic version that has 2 books in one, and that is Great Expectations and A Tale of Two Cities. It's very cool. I found this in a used bookstore. So yeah, Tale of Two Cities, about the 2 cities, London and Paris, and the main protagonist, I believe, is a Dr. Manette, and basically it's before and during the French Revolution, and what happens, I think it's what happens to him in the 2 cities. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, should I read the synopsis again? Okay, so for A Tale of Two Cities, after 18 years as a political prisoner in the Bastille, the aging Dr. Manette is finally released and reunited with his daughter in England. They are the lives of the 2 very different men, Charles Darnay, an exiled French aristocrat, and Sidney Carton, a disreputable but brilliant English lawyer, become enmeshed through their love for Lucy Manette. Cool. And then Great Expectations is about Pip, I believe. And it's what they call a Bildungsroman, which is a coming-of-age story. Okay, this one, let's see. Great Expectations. A terrifying encounter with an escaped convict in a graveyard on the wild Kent marshes. A summons to meet the bitter, decaying Miss Havisham and her beautiful, cold-hearted ward, Estella. The sudden generosity of a mysterious benefactor. This forms a series of events that changes the orphaned Pip's life forever, and he eagerly abandons his humble origins to begin a new life as a gentleman. Right, very interesting books. And then, speaking of Bildungsroman, Another Charles Dickens coming-of-age book, David Copperfield. And also this one I've had about 2000, 2001. It's like so old. And this one I have read, like, look, oh my god, I've read like almost halfway through and I stopped, so I don't even remember anything about it. So this one is also a coming-of-age story about, from the boy's perspective, David Copperfield. Guys, I'm sorry, I can't talk. Of all the books Dickens wrote of David Copperfield, of all my books, I like this the best. Millions of readers in almost every language on earth have subsequently come to share the author's own enthusiasm for this greatly loved classic, possibly because of its autobiographical form. Following the life of David through much suffering and great adversity, the reader will also find many light-hearted moments in the company of a host of English fiction's greatest stars, including Mr. Micawber, Traddles, Uriah Heep, Crico, Betsy Trotwood, and the Pegodi family. I don't know if I'm saying that right, I'm sorry. Alright, and last of the Dickens is, I think, the thickest one. And this is Bleak House, the Oxford University Press copy. This one is a Wordsworth, and this one is Penguin, the Penguin Classics. Okay, Bleak House. Bleak House, Dickens' most daring experiment in the narration of a complex plot, challenges the reader to make connections between the fashionable and the outcast, the beautiful and the ugly, the powerful and the victims. Blah, 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 blah. Bleak House defies a single description. It is a mystery story in which Esther Summerson discovers the truth about her birth and her unknown mother's tragic life. It is a murder story which comes to a climax in a thrilling chase led by one of the earliest detectives in English fiction, Inspector Bucket. And it is a fable about redemption in which a bleak house is transformed by the resilience of human love. Oh, that sounds so good too. So excited. I'm really excited to read all these 10 books. So, and now, oh my gosh, down to the last two. So, all right, first one. Okay, not first one. Okay, the one I will talk about next, I guess, would be the infamous James Joyce's Ulysses. Yep. I have been debating about getting this book for a long time, and you know, finally I'm like, you know what, I will try to read it. If not this year, 2025. I am doing this here so that I'm holding myself accountable. Okay, so this one is basically based, oh my gosh. It's based on the Odyssey, but James Joyce did it, the story as a novel set in one day around 3 characters. Leopold Bloom, based on who is based on Odysseus, and then Molly Bloom, who's based on Penelope, who is Odysseus's wife, and then Daedalus is based on Telemachus, who is Odysseus's son. So I'm almost done this book, so I'm really glad I'm reading this first before going through this. And this one, a lot of people consider this really one of the great literatures of all time, so I'm really curious how to read it. But a lot of people say it's really hard as well because of the just a different form of narration that James Joyce did. I've never read any of his work, so really curious. Like even Portrait of a Young Artist is a, you know what, Portrait of an Artist is a man, young man. Yeah, I haven't read that, but it is very interesting. Like there's even a page they're saying that there's like just a stream of consciousness. So I am really excited to read this. And this is the Oxford University Press copy. I actually really like the Oxford versions of books. So I mean, they're all really the same, like in terms of content, right? But I just like just the actual physical book itself. I kind of prefer it over, slightly prefer it over Penguin. But although I do like this Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. Like I do like how they have this with the pages like that, right? So All right, and then the last book. Oh my god, how long have I been talking? Okay, 20 minutes. That's not too bad. The last book is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. So I have them in 2 versions. This one I've had since, I usually write the date of the when I bought the book, but this is so old, like I think maybe early 2000 as well. Like I don't even see this Wordsworth classics in bookstores around me anymore. And then this one is the recent purchase. I bought this in a book city. They're actually okay, so let me talk about why I have 2 versions. So I will do a b-roll here of me just doing an unboxing of this because I am so excited to have finally gotten this version. So I originally wanted to read it in this translation, which is the mod translation, but look, oh my gosh, there's no way I can read this now like with my eyes, like maybe when I was younger, but that is just so tiny to me. So right, anyway, so the mod translation, everyone's saying it's one of the really the best ones because it's also the translation that Tolstoy approved. And I was really happy to have this version because in this mod, this is the original mod translation. It already has the French already translated. And then another translation came out. Not translation, but another revision of the same translation came out. And they left the French translation in and just did footnotes on them. And I'm so lazy, you guys. I don't want to... I think that would take me longer to read something if I have to keep flipping for the definition. And even though I did take French high school and university, and I can read basic French, there's just no way I would, you know, like it would just, yeah, it will just take me longer, yeah, to read it. So I ended up looking for the this translation here by Anthony Briggs, and for some reason it is so freaking hard to find the Briggs translation here in just a regular Chapters bookstore. So I ended up finding this Penguin cloth-bound classic available at a local indie bookstore, Book City. I'm so happy. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I really recommend ordering books from them. I'll link down below. They had some of the Penguin cloth-bound classics versions of classics available right now, which Chapters doesn't even have. And they have the Anthony Briggs. And the reason I wanted the Anthony Briggs is because again, the French part of the book is already translated, so easy peasy, right? So I really just want to make it as easy for me as possible to read it. And this one, I really do want to read this next, but I read somewhere that it's better to read... Oh my god, sorry, I think my camera's dying, hang on. Okay, I hope I got the last bit in there. But anyways, before reading this, I do want to read some info about Napoleon first, or the Napoleonic invasion of Russia. So I'm thinking of reading this book first before going into this. So hopefully that'll make my reading experience more well-rounded, I think. So, but yeah, I'm really happy to have found this version, this translation at Book City. Yay! So it's also look oh, look at this one. It already has the ribbon bookmark as well. I mean, it's also still tiny, but it's still, I think, a lot easier to read than... Oh my god, look at the difference on this too. Right? I hope, anyway. Yeah. So I hope... I think that is it. Oh, I was talking earlier about Constance Garnett translation, right? For this Dostoevsky. So the reason I I said I was going to talk about Constance Garnett is because I did read Anna Karenina by Tolstoy as well, about 10, is it more than 10 years ago? Yeah, and I remember loving it, right? Like, I don't really remember much of the book, but I remember loving Levin, and I gave that book 5 stars, and that's a Constance Garnett Anna Karenina translation. So yeah, but this is gonna be my second Tolstoy, oh my gosh, second Tolstoy book I'm gonna be reading, so I'm really excited. And oh my gosh, I think that is about it. Yes, I think it's below 30 minutes, which is good for me because I tend to ramble on about books. But anyways, yeah, thank you so much if you made it this far. And if you guys have the time, please let me know if you have any lists of this sort, like 10 books you want to read before you die, or if you've read any of these books and you just want to discuss it. Please feel free to comment down below. We read every comment, treasure every comment, every like, dislike in this videos that we do. So as always, yeah, if you have, oh my god, I'm gonna repeat myself, so please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you again. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Bye.